Pod.
So pod, it is a smallest building block that will create in Kubernetes to run our containers. To run our containers. So how we can? So what is a Docker engine, guys?
Service, sir.
Docker engine. So Docker engine.
To run containers, sir.
Very good. So Docker engine to run our containers, Docker engine is required. Container will be created in the worker nodes. So containers will be created in the worker nodes. So what is a container?
Container contains data which are like RAM, CPU, and codes.
Container. So container, it is a runtime instance. It is a runtime instance of our application. So where our application is deployed, our application will be deployed under the container, right? It is a runtime instance. So what will be there in the container? OS image, right? Plus that so OS image plus softwares plus code also. So code also will be there in the container, right? So what is a pod, guys? Pod is nothing but a, it is a,
Smallest
it is a smallest
container in Kubernetes.
smallest building block that will that will that we will create in Kubernetes to run our
Container.
yes, very good, to run our containers, so docker container will be run inside the pod. So where the docker container will be run, guys? Docker container will run inside the pod, right?
Pod.
Inside the pod. Yeah. So what is next, guys? Kubernetes cluster setup. So did anyone did anyone watch the recording?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Now you understood how you can install the KubeADM and Kubernetes, a self-managed Kubernetes.
Somewhat confusion is there, but little bit idea about it.
You got the idea, right? Yeah. So self-managed and provider managed
Manage.
Kubernetes cluster setup. So today we will show you that provider managed Kubernetes cluster. So it will be just a very, guys. We need to run few steps. It automatically install the Kubernetes cluster. Okay. So what you need? We need a what we need, guys? We need a
Provider
AWS account. We need a AWS account to run the Kubernetes cluster. Okay. You have a you have a AWS account, right, guys?
sir, for the
Yes, sir.
Ubuntu or we will use Linux.
Ubuntu, what is Ubuntu?
Another
Actually,
type
in
of
this videos, you use Ubuntu, sir.
Ubuntu
Ubuntu.
is
What is Ubuntu? What is CentOS 7? What is Linux? Initially, I already told you, right, guys? The
operation.
difference.
Another type of Linux.
Another type of OS. So the
Oh,
same features are same. Commands, everything will be same.
now
Everything
we
will
will
be
use in Linux or we will use in Ubuntu like the time I think.
Linux, guys. Linux is a Linux released as a Linux, but the flavors. What is the flavor of the we installed? Which flavor we installed?
CentOS. Or
Red,
CentOS.
Red Hat CentOS.
Yes, Red Hat CentOS. Ubuntu also same. There is no difference. Just the difference between Ubuntu CentOS is the command should be same, but the difference is something like here we call it as a m install, right? M install in the CentOS 7. If you want to install any package, m install Java, m install Git, right? The CentOS 7. So in the apt Ubuntu, you can use apt install. apt install. Just there is no much difference between CentOS 7 and Ubuntu. Oracle Linux. If
Package
you use
management difference, right?
the only a few commands are different. Okay.
Okay.
1 second, guys. I uploaded the document somewhere else. Let me check the document. Second, guys. New world public IP procedure. Yes, right. Cluster setup. Modified somewhere. Where it is exactly. Yeah, guys. Got it. 1 second. We already built somewhere else. So for Kubernetes cluster setup, so something like create a EKS management host in AWS, guys. Something like a step one. So what is the step one? Step one is create a EKS management host in AWS. So EKS management host is nothing but a launch a new Ubuntu VM using the AWS EC2 instance, EC2 micro. For example, a remote mission. So what is it, guys? So this is a remote mission. So if you want to connect, right, kubectl, kubectl commands, right? So if you want to run the kubectl commands, so you can create a remote mission. For that purpose we can use the, so we can launch EC2 or a Ubuntu mission, guys. Ubuntu mission with a T2 micro T2 micro, guys. So we can use a T2 micro instance. One is a remote instance. So connect to the mission and install kubectl using the below commands. So once we run, right, once we create the remote instance, once we create the remote instance, so we can do, we can connect to the mission and install the kubectl using the below command. So what is that, guys? Kubectl. So we need to install the kubectl. Just so it's a small command. So we can download that Amazon kubectl, then we can install the kubectl. So this is the step number one, guys. So the step number two, so install AWS CLI latest version using the below commands. What is the third kind, guys? The step one. So the third point is install AWS CLI latest version, latest version version using below command. So versions using below command. So the commands you can install for the AWS CLI. Why do we need AWS CLI, guys? To connect the AWS through CLI. To connect the AWS through CLI. So on the fourth step, fourth point in the step one. So install the EKS CTL. EKS CTL because of, so EKS, right? We are running EKS, right? We need to install the EKS CTL on the below command. So on the below commands, you can install the EKS CTL. So EKS CTL. So this is the step number one. So this is the step number one. So this step is, for the step number one is the create the remote mission, because of we need to connect the paint. So paint, for example, these are the steps in the remote mission. So what this is? So this is a remote mission. So in the remote mission, so this is the Kubernetes cluster. In the Kubernetes cluster, so this is the master node. These are the worker nodes. These are the worker nodes. So first, how we can connect these master nodes? So we can connect the master node through the kubectl, right? By using the kubectl command. So by using the kubectl command, we can communicate master nodes. Then it will deploy the pods in the worker nodes, right? So we can create the YAML files and everything, right? We can create it in the remote mission. So we can connect either two ways. One is EKS, one is OpenLens. So one is GUI, the other one is CLI. For that CLI purpose, we install another remote mission. So we install another remote mission. So remote mission, from this remote mission, we need to use the kubectl commands. So what is that? Kubectl commands, and we will create the that deployment dot YAML files. So from here, so if you run the kubectl deployment dot, it will connect to the API server. API server will inform to the HCD and the controller and the scheduler, right? Will they create the pods, right? So we are creating this mission. For that mission, what we need to install the kubectl. What is that? Kubectl, EKSCTL, and the AWS CLI. AWS CLI. We want to connect through the CLI, right? So that is the reason we need to install these three. For that purpose, these are the commands. So for that purpose, these are the command. So first is, so we need to install the kubectl, then we need to install the AWS CLI, then we will install the EKS ETL. So these all are for the remote machine only, not in the Kubernetes cluster. Okay. So if you run the one command, it automatically create the Kubernetes cluster in the AWS. In the AWS, it's a provider service. This is the step number 1. So in the next step number 2. So what is the step number 2? Step number 2. In the step number 2, what we need to do? Create a IAM rule and attach EKS management. So what is that, guys? Create IAM rule and attach to the EKS management host. EKS management host. So what are how you can create the IAM rule? IAM rule you already knows, right? Create a new role using the IAM service. Select the use case of EC2 and add these policies add these policies. So I will show you guys. Yeah, so this is the step number 2. What is the step number 2? You need to create a IAM role and attach it to the EKS management host. So what is the EKS management host? So EKS management host is EC2. What is the EKS management host, guys? This is the EKS management host. So you need to attach this role in the EKS management to and add below permissions for the role. What is the role? IAM full permissions, VPC full access, IAM full access, EC2 full access, cloud formation full access, administrator access, and enter a role name called as a EKS role EC2. What is the role number, guys? Role name is called as a EKS role EC2. Attach create role to EKS management host. Select EC2 and click on security. Modify IAM rule. Attach IAM rule. We have created. Attached IAM rule and we have created. So this is the step number 2. So what is the step number 3? Now step number 3 is nothing but a create a EKS cluster using EKS CTL. Create a EKS cluster using the EKS CTL. Where the EKS CTL we already installed? We already installed EKS CTL on the remote mission. So we already installed the EKS CTL on the remote mission, right? From here we can execute one command. It automatically create the Kubernetes. So it automatically create the EKS cluster. EKS cluster. EKS cluster. So right, step 2, create IAM role and attach it to the EKS management host. This was done. Step 3 is create a EKS cluster using the EKS CTL. Create a EKS cluster using the EKS CTL. So what is the syntax, guys? Syntax is just one command. You run the one command, it automatically creates the EKS cluster, guys. So EKS CTL create a cluster name, region name, node type, instance type, node minimum 2, node max 2, and the zones. So this is the syntax, guys. This is the syntax. So if you want to create the EKS cluster in the region, for example, North Virginia region. So what is the command you need to execute? You need to execute the command. So you need to execute the command create EKS create cluster name. So name equal to, for example, tech world with Hari. So tech world with Hari hyphen cluster 4. So then I'm equal to cluster 4 and the region equal to, so region equal to which region you want to create the cluster. So for example, region equal to US East 1, node type equal to T2 medium. So node type equal to T2 medium, guys. Zone equal to US East 1A, US East 1B. So this is the command to create the North Virginia region. So if you want to create it on the Mumbai region, so what you need to do? If you want to create it on the Mumbai region, the same we need to use, but the region should be changed. What is that? region. EKS clear cluster name equal with RE cluster 4 region equal to, what is the region guys? Region equal to AP South 1. AP South, AP South, AP South 1 means AP South 1 is nothing but a Mumbai region. So not type equal to T2 medium, zone equal to AP South, AP South 1A, AP South 1B guys. US East instead of US East, AP South 1A, AP South 1B, right? This is the, so if you want to launch EKS cluster on the Mumbai region or a North Virginia region, note the cluster creation will take 5 to 10 minutes of a time. We have to wait. After cluster created, we can check the nodes using the below command. Below a command. So what is the command guys? Just we are using the cluster creation will take 5 to 10 minutes of a time. So after cluster created, we can check the nodes using the below command. So what is the command guys? Kubectl. So what is the command to check? So what is the command guys? Kubectl. Kubectl, if the cluster is created or not, how you can check? We need to create the, how many instances we are creating? 2 instances. One is cluster node and one is one is worker node, right? So kubectl get nodes. Kubectl get nodes command, it will display the how many nodes created. So EKS cluster nodes. So we should create. We should be able to see EKS cluster nodes here. So we should able to create use cluster nodes. So we are done with the setup. So after your practice, delete the cluster and other resources we have used in AWS cloud to avail the billing. Right, guys. Step number 4. After your practice, after your practicing, so step number 4, after your practice, delete the cluster and other resources we have used in the AWS cloud to avail billing. To avail the billing. Guys understood?
Yes, sir.
Guys understood? Yeah, to avail the billing. So after you purchase, this is a, so this will be chargeable guys. This will be chargeable. So if you guys having, and if you are having a billing, something like the AWS created a billing, you guys can create a support request guys. Support request to, I am a student, I am a practicing purpose, I launched the EKS, please wipe off my billing. So they will consider and they will wipe off the your building. Okay.
You will consider that.
They will consider already.
Okay.
Just you will create a support request. I am a student. So I'm the practicing purpose. I launched the EKS cluster. Can you please wipe off uh, or wipe off my building? Okay. So this is a just so this is
Normal
just
remote.
yeah. So if you want to launch a individual services, something like a manually self-managed, right? So we need to execute the few of the commands. We need to execute the few of the commands on both the 3 instances. What you can do, you can launch the 3 instances in the AWS. Then we can run the commands on the 3 instances. So we can run the few commands on the cluster set, that master node, few commands on the EKS worker node, and they will, how you can connect with this master node. They will join the, we can use the token and join the worker node to the master node, right guys? If you guys watched the recording, it will be, you understand. So now it will be easy, right? There is only one setup guys, only one command need to run, but so before that, so we need to, the step 1 is we need to install the, we need to create a remote machine and install the kubectl, AWS CLI and EKS CTL. The step 2, create a AM role attached to the EKS management host. Management host is nothing but a remote host. So we need to provide the access and give it to him. So then third step is, so create a cluster, EKS cluster using the EKS CTL. EKS CTL. Guys understood? So ping
Okay.
any one of the username and password, guys. AWS. Mine is blocked. I need to show you. Actually, mine is blocked. What is it? Git class. Not this is tech world with. Hey guys, can someone Avinash Pavan? 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 Arey Pavan.
Yes,
Hello.
yes. I will send. I will.
Yeah, can you send your Okay, got it. Yeah, what is this, guys? First, we need to launch the EC2 instance, right? Yeah, launch EC2 instance. One side, yeah. I'm using North Virginia. Pavan, I'm using North Virginia. You can use so Mumbai or region, whatever it may be. Okay. Launch instances. EKS remote. EKS remote machine, guys. You can use what is that? Ubuntu. So what is that, guys? Create a EKS management host. So the Ubuntu T2 micro. Yeah. So whatever it may be, you can use Ubuntu. Yeah, 22.04. You can select 22.04. Then select the T2 micro. Key pair. Create a key pair. .ppk file. EKS AWS 21 batch. 21 batch. I'm creating the ppk file, guys. Okay. Next. Yeah, create security, everything. Just launch the instances. It's pending. It's running, right? Yeah, what is the public IP address? This is the public IP address. Putty, I'm using Putty to connect. Putty, SSH, appearance, change appearance, bold, 80, 18, okay. Auth, credentials, browse, EKS AWS 21 batch, open, accept, login as a Ubuntu user, guys. What is that? Ubuntu is the user for the. So what is the username for the AWS Linux 2? Amazon Linux 2, EC2 user, right? So for the Ubuntu, what is the username, guys? The username is Ubuntu. Okay. Yeah. So connect to the mission and install the kubectl using the below commands. Yeah, curl. So this is the, we need to download this one. Yeah, curl. We need to download the kubectl. Yeah, ls kubectl. Yep, it's downloaded. Then chmod, copy. Yeah, I'm giving the permissions to this file. Then sudo move this .ctl to user bin local. User bin. Okay, next kubectl version short hyphen client kind. So which, yeah, the client version is v19.6. Okay, the client version is so v90.6. So the kubectl installation is done. Then install the AWS CLI latest version using the below commands. Sudo apt install, sudo apt install unzip. First we need to install the unzip. Okay, so it's installed. Then curl download the AWS CLI vc2 zip. Yes, then unzip the. So I want to unzip this file. Zip unzip means, yeah, unzip is done. Then AWS install. We need to install the AWS. Yeah, you can now run a version, AWS version, right? Then AWS hyphen version. Yeah, AWS version. Yes. So kubectl and AWS CLI done. So what is the next, guys? The next command is EKSCTL using the below command. We need to install the EKSCTL. So we can install the EKSCTL by using this command. Copy, paste. Yeah. Then you can execute this command. Sudo move open. Yeah. Next we need to execute it. Version, which version is installed? Yes, 0.1880. So the first setup one is done, right, guys? So setup one is done. We installed the kubectl, then we installed the AWS CLI, then we installed the EKCTL. So the second setup is create a IAM role and attach to the EKS management host. Create a new role using IAM service, select use case EC2 and add permissions for the role. So what is that, guys? IAM. IAM, right? We need to create the IAM role. IAM. Yeah. So role, create a role. So what is the role name, guys? The role name is create a attached creator role to EKS management host. So what is the role name? Enter the role name EKS role EC2. What is the role name, guys? Role name is EKS role EC2. Select the EC2 role name. What is the role name, guys? Service EC2. Next, what is that, guys? Yeah. So add the below permission. Select the use case EC2. So add the permission to the role. IAM full access, VPC full access, EC2 full access. So what is that? IAM full access, EC2 full access, and VPC full access, then administrator access, then cloud formation. So cloud formation. So AWS cloud formation full access. So what are those, guys? IAM VPC, EC2, cloud formation, administrator. Done. Done, right? Next. So what is the role name? EKS role EC2. EKS role EC2, the role name. Okay. Then create a role. Yeah. So EKS role EC2 is created. So EKS role EC2 is created. So create a IAM role, attach EKS management host, attach it to the EKS management. So then IAM role is created. Create a new role using the IAM service, select the use case EC2, add the below permission to the role, IAM full access, VPT full access, EC2 full access, cloud formation full access, administrator access, and the role name entered. So attach the created role to EKS management host, select the EC2, click on the security, select the EC2 instances running. Yeah, select the EC2 and click on the instance setting, manage security, right? Modify IAM rule. So choose which rule, EKS rule, update IAM rule. Okay. So select the EKS, then go to the actions and security, click the security, modify the IAM and select the EKS. Select the EKS role EC2 and update the IAM role. Okay, this EKS a remote mission having all these permissions. So what are the permissions? This EKS having IAM full access, VPC full access, EC2 full access,
EC2
cloud formation full access, administrator access, right? These five services, these five policies attached to the EC2 instances. Okay, now second part also done. Attach EKS to the modifier room and attach it to the role which is created. Yes. Next, create a EKS cluster using the EKS CTL. So which region? I selected the North Virginia
Northern
region.
Virginia.
Yeah, you can use this command. You can use this command. Here you see, guys. So in the syntax, nodes min to max 2, but here not providing because of the default nodes are 2. So what is the medium T2 medium, right? It will be chargeable. T2 medium, it will be chargeable. Okay. Then you can run this command. You can run this command. EKS cluster, create a EKS cluster by using UCP command, North Virginia region. Oh shit, duplicate session. What is the username, guys?
Ubuntu.
Shit. Ubuntu. The username is Ubuntu. Yeah. What is the command? EKS create cluster name tech world with Hari. And the cluster 4 region US East 1 node type T2 medium zones are US East 1A, US East 1B. Okay. So it will take 5 to 10 minutes. So note cluster creation will take 5 to 10 minutes of your time. After cluster created, we can check the nodes using the below commands in the kubectl get nodes. After your practice, delete the cluster once you have used in the AWS cloud to avoid the billing. Okay, so it will take 5 to 10 minutes. So you can go here. What is that? The service is called as a, what is the service, guys? EKS, Elastic Kubernetes Service.
Sir, for
Yes.
any creation, the same process, same commands, all.
Any process means the
Like
provider.
no, we create only, sir, remote machine provider.
We created the remote mission. Any mission like CentOS 7, what, right?
Hmm.
Yeah, you can use same commands. You can habituate the other flavors also, right? Ubuntu also.
I mean, these commands are so big now, sir. By
Yeah, these commands are same for. So this is only for the. So this is not a Ubuntu mission. So what are the Ubuntu mission? The remote mission is a Ubuntu only, right?
yes.
This is only Ubuntu mission, right? So from here we are installing the EKS cluster to command. So we can create EKS cluster by using manually also. Just so we
With
can
command.
create the EKS cluster through commands. You see, tech world with Hari cluster 4 is creating, right?
Yes.
Parts or replicas it so compute error loading. This is amazing in case unable to communicate with your Kubernetes cluster API server. Active state for the successful connection. Networking VPC created, add-ons, access, observability, update history. Still it is creating. Okay, still it is creating. Waiting for the cloud formation stack. EKS tech world with Hari. So deploying a EKS tech world with Hari cluster. Building the cluster stack. The vision is 1.30. So public IP. So these are the public and private IPs. Subnets. EKS version is 0.1880. Using region US is to 1A, 1B. So we are creating. So node group and using Kubernetes version 1.0, creating EKS cluster tech world with Hari in the US East 1 region with the managed nodes will be create two separate cloud formation stacks for cluster itself and initial managed node group. If you encounter any issue, check cloud formation console or try EKS ETL utils, describe stacks region. You will get the logs. Kubernetes API endpoint access will use default of public accessor, private access, public access. Wait guys, it will take 5 to 10 minutes to clear the cluster. Networking created, VPC created, visibility, upgrade history, compute still not created, compute instances, resources, part templates, part triple comment, depend set, daemon set. You will get this 20 cluster nodes still not yet created. Namespace API servers, runtime classes, flow charts, services. There is no services. Storage, authentication, authorization, policy, limits, ranges, resource quotas, network policies, extensions, compute. Waiting for cloud formation stack. It will take 5 minutes, guys. It will take 5 to 10 minutes to create the EKS cluster. EKS setup step by step. MDs. Yeah, guys, if you go to the Kubernetes, then you go to the Kubernetes EKS setup step by step. Okay, so create a EKS management host in AWS. So connect to the mission commands. These are the commands, guys. So 3, 4. So this is the step 2, guys. So this is the step 3. Okay, so this is the installation guide, guys. Still creating now. Go to the EKS. Resources overview. EKS clusters. Tech call with Hari. 8 minutes ago. Resources compute still not activated. Resources overview. Yeah, guys, it will take 5 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes to install. Already 8 minutes completed, right? Clusters. Let's wait another 2-3 minutes. See, the status is still creating. The status is still creating. So what is the task, guys? The task is you guys can create the task is create a self managed EKS cluster by using Cube ADM. Okay, guys. So while creating a Cube ADM manual, so just stop or terminate your EKS cluster, then you will try with the self-managed, guys. Self-managed Kubernetes cluster. Okay, this is the task, guys. Yeah, still creating. 10 minutes completed. You guys see active, it's created. It's created, guys. It's created. Resources, overview, networking. Yeah, we will check it in. Check it in here. It's created active now. EKS. Yeah, so we created the add-ons. Access. Create overview. This is the server endpoint, guys. API server endpoint. Certificate authority. This is the IAM role. Fully created. Okay. Hey guys, use the same commands and you can install your EKS cluster. Okay, Sunny, Pavan.
Yes, sir. Like same process, no, sir. After
Same
that,
process. After that, I will
we'll,
tell you. Tomorrow, I will tell you
uh,
how to
how
deploy
much time? How much time we will be like that? After we will be paying, no, sir.
once you install, no. So no
Mm.
worries, no worries. It will take 4,000, 5,000. They will charge, but
Ah,
you guys can send a email to the AWS team. Okay.
okay.
Otherwise, your account will be suspended. You can, so they will not debit from your credit card or debit card without your proper
If
intimation. Okay, they will
like
not.
uh, if the payment if any charges are up there, no, we
Mm,
can create another account, no, sir, by doing
we
this.
can create, yes. We can create another account and we can use it. So
Mm.
that's the reason I'm telling. You can send a mail. They will wipe out the charges.
Okay.
Okay. Why it is taking this much time? Yeah, it's completed, right? building managed node group stack, deploying stack, waiting for the cloud formation, building cluster stack, building a managed node group stack. Okay, add-ons. You see one add-on. These are the add-ons. Amazon VPC CNI, kubeproxy, code DNS. These all are the add-ons. Installed. Networks also installed. Compute. Yeah. So this is the group name. Still it is creating. On the resources. Overview. Observability. Access. Yeah, you see IAM access. It's created before there is no access. Now it's created. Upgrade insights. Observability, upgrade history, tags. So these are the tags. This is the overview. Yeah, still it is creating the node group. So now you understood, right, guys, how to install the EKS cluster on AWS. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So it will be easy for the EKS guys. So what you can, at least if you are guys not trying, you guys just watch the recording, or at least watch the recording. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, the cluster setup is ready. You see, the region is ready, tech world with the ECS cluster. Okay. Now kubectl get nodes.
No.
You see, guys, two created. So two nodes are created. Guys, understood? Kubectl get parts. Get parts. Yeah, no resources found in the default namespace because of we are not created any parts. So in the parts, we will deploy our application. We will deploy our container. Okay.
Okay.
So we'll show you guys. We'll show you each and everything. No worries. Just we set up the EKS cluster on the AWS EKS. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, guys. So we'll continue from tomorrow, guys. I will show you tomorrow. So the pod creation, the deployment file, what is the deployment file, how you can create your deployment file, right? Docker Compose you saw, right? The videos. The same like way we create a deployment YAML file. So in that YAML file, we will create the container, we will create the service, and we will create the networking, everything in the one file, guys. Okay? In the one deployment file or one pod file. Okay? Guys, will continue from tomorrow. Today we will upload, guys, yesterday's one, today's one. Okay.
Okay.